Imagine a book revealed 1,400 years ago, a book that transformed the desert Arabs into leaders of civilization, a book that spoke to the hearts of the poor and the powerful alike, a book so unique that even today, scientists, historians, and linguists stand in awe of its perfection. This book is not just words. It is a divine teaching system, carefully designed by Allah to guide us step by step in life. But here's the secret. The Quran doesn't just tell you what to do, it teaches you in a way no other book in history can. Stay with me in this video as we uncover the amazing and beneficial teaching style of the Quran, a style so powerful that if we understood it, our relationship with the Quran would never be the same again. The Quran's teaching style, a miracle of guidance. 1. The Quran as a teacher, not just a book. The Quran is not merely a collection of commands or moral lessons. It is a living teacher. Unlike any textbook, the Quran doesn't throw abstract theories at you. It speaks directly to the heart, the mind, and the soul. Allah describes the Quran as Hudan lil Muttaqin, guidance for those conscious of Him. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:2. Notice, it doesn't say just a book of laws or a book of stories. It is guidance. And guidance requires a teaching style, clear, engaging, relatable, and practical. If you think about it, the Quran does something incredible. It speaks to the unlettered Bedouin who never went to school. It challenges the greatest poets and intellectuals of Arabia. It reaches the child memorizing its verses. It inspires the scientist in a laboratory. How? Through its multidimensional teaching style. 2. The use of questions, awakening the mind. Have you noticed how often the Quran asks questions? Do they not reflect upon the Quran? Surah An-Nisa 4 hours, 82 minutes. So, which of the favors of your Lord will you deny? Surah Ar-Rahman 55:13. By asking questions, the Quran forces the listener to pause, to think. A lecture may tell you something, but a question plants a seed in your heart. This is why Surah Ar-Rahman is unforgettable, because it repeats the question 31 times. Each repetition pierces the heart differently. That's divine teaching, making you reflect rather than just memorize. 3. Teaching through stories, lessons wrapped in narratives. One of the most powerful teaching methods in the Quran is storytelling. But these are not fairy tales or myths. They are carefully chosen, real stories, designed to convey eternal lessons. Take the story of Musa a.s. His story is repeated more than any other prophet's. Why? Because every time it is told, it addresses a different angle of human struggle. Facing tyrants, Pharaoh, standing firm in front of oppression, leading a community through hardship, relying on Allah when all doors seem closed. The Quran doesn't just narrate history, it extracts lessons from history. Unlike human history books that say, this happened, the Quran says, this happened, so learn from it. Indeed, in their stories, there is a lesson for people of understanding. Surah Yusuf 12:111. That's divine pedagogy, teaching by storytelling, so the lesson remains alive in the heart. 4. Repetition, not boring but transformative. Many critics say, why does the Quran repeat itself? But ask any good teacher, what is the key to learning? Repetition. When Allah repeats phrases like, indeed, Allah is forgiving, merciful, or woe to those who deny, it's not redundancy, it's reinforcement. The Quran doesn't repeat because Allah ran out of content. Rather, Allah knows our nature. We forget, we slip, we lose focus, and repetition revives the heart again and again. Just like a teacher repeats a formula in class until it sticks, the Quran repeats truths until they settle into your soul. 5. Gradual revelation, the step-by-step method. The Quran was revealed over 23 years. Why? Because humans don't change overnight. When alcohol was prohibited, it wasn't a one-time command. Allah taught step by step. First, hinting it has harm and some benefit. Then, discouraging prayer while intoxicated. Finally, banning it completely. This gradual method reflects Allah's wisdom as a teacher. Imagine if all 6,000 plus verses were dropped in one day. It would overwhelm people. Instead, the Quran was like a lifelong syllabus, building believers slowly, nurturing them patiently. 6. The Quran appeals to all learning styles. Modern education says people learn in different ways, some visually, some through sound, some through logic, some through emotion. Amazingly, the Quran encompasses them all. Visual learners. The Quran paints images, a tree growing in hellfire with fruits like devil's heads. Surah 37:62-65. Auditory learners. Its rhythmic recitation is unmatched, soothing, and unforgettable. Logical learners. The Quran presents logical proofs. Were they created from nothing, or were they themselves the creators? Surah At-Tur 52:35. Emotional learners. The Quran touches the heart with verses about Jannah, forgiveness, and Allah's mercy. This is divine teaching. No human author could master all learning styles in one book. 7. Balance between fear and hope. A teacher who only scares students will crush them. A teacher who only gives hope may make them careless. The Quran balances both. Inform my servants that I am the forgiving, the merciful, but also that my punishment is the painful punishment. Surah Al-Hijr 15:49-50. This balance keeps the believer steady, motivated by hope, but cautious through fear. It's a psychological masterpiece of teaching. 8. Short, powerful parables. The Quran uses parables, short comparisons, to explain complex truths. Their example is like that of a person who kindled a fire, but when it illuminated all around, Allah took away their light. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:17. With one metaphor, the Quran captures the tragedy of hypocrisy. That's better than a 1,000-word essay. 9. Engaging the listener directly. The Quran often says, "O you who believe," or "O mankind." This direct address creates connection. You don't feel like an outsider reading a history book. You feel like the Quran is talking to you right now. 10. The miracle of conciseness. The Quran can say in a single verse what would take volumes for humans to explain. For example, the verse, "And do not consume one another's wealth unjustly," Surah Al-Baqarah 2:188, covers theft, fraud, bribery, corruption, scams, and oppression, all in less than 10 words. That's divine brevity, the art of saying much with few words. 11. Emotional teaching, the heart before the mind. Unlike dry philosophy, the Quran goes straight to the heart. When Allah describes Jannah with rivers of milk and honey, or Jahannam with blazing fire, he's not appealing to your intellect alone. He's teaching by touching your emotions, because change begins in the heart. 12. A book for all times. Here's another teaching miracle. The Quran adapts to every generation. For the Arabs of the desert, it challenged poetry. For today's age of science, it has ayat on embryology, oceans, the universe. For the future, its timeless principles will still guide. It doesn't just teach, it remains the ultimate teacher across centuries. 13. Why we must reconnect with this teaching style. Here's the tragedy. Many Muslims today treat the Quran like a book of ritual recitation only. We memorize, we recite, but we don't reflect on how it teaches. If we understood its style, we'd approach it differently. We'd see every repetition, every story, every question as Allah's direct teaching method designed personally for us. Practical benefits for viewers. When you read the Quran, notice the questions. It's Allah training your mind. Reflect on stories. They're lessons for your own struggles. Don't skip repetition. It's reinforcement. Take gradual steps in Deen, just as the Quran was revealed gradually. Balance fear and hope, just as the Quran does. If we adopt this divine style in our lives, we'll not only become better learners, we'll become better teachers to our children, families, and communities. The Quran is not just a book, it is your lifelong teacher. Every verse is a lesson plan. Every story is a case study. Every repetition is a reminder. Every question is an exam for your soul. If you approach the Quran as a student, you'll find Allah Himself guiding you. And isn't that the greatest honor, that the Lord of the worlds is teaching you directly? Brothers and sisters, if this touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share this message. Let others discover the Quran as their teacher. And starting today, open the Quran, not just to recite, but to learn. Because the more we learn from it, the more we live by it. Subscribe to Deen in Minute for more reminders that bring you closer to Allah. And let's walk together as students of the greatest teacher, the Quran.